Hey everybody, this is Laura with McLeod Homestead, and today I am in the kitchen. Imagine that, but I got my turkey shirt on, and the reason is that this holiday season I am not going to be home for Thanksgiving. In fact, we're going to my nephew's and his wife's for a family Thanksgiving. However, I myself still love the leftovers. So I have a turkey in the pan over here, ready to go. However, I like homemade stuffing. I don't like the stuffing that comes in a box. Bless you. And I myself like it with the dried cranberries in it. So I found a new stuffing recipe that I'm going to try. And it has dried cranberries. And because I still have apples left over from making our applesauce and our apple cider, so I'm going to put some apples in it. And we're going to see how well it tastes. We are going to stuff the bird with it. If we have extra, we will put it into a casserole dish. Now, it is called stuffing because we stuff the bird. If you just cook it in a casserole dish, then that is what is called the dressing, because it dresses the turkey instead of being shoved in it. Now, the first thing we need to talk about is the breadcrumbs. I'm not going to lie, I did buy some pre-made breadcrumbs, all ready to go. However, that is not all the breadcrumbs that we need. And I did that for a reason. So over here, I have a cookie sheet tray of just bread that I have chopped up. I've got it on the cookie sheet here. Two methods you can do to make this the breadcrumbs is you can cut it and just, put a towel over it and leave it for a couple days so it dries out. I did not do that. Instead, I have the oven preheating at 300 degrees, and we will put this in the oven for 20 to 30 minutes. We will mix it up every 10 minutes until we get our desired hardness for our breadcrumbs. And then we're going to add it to this bowl of the pre-bought. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick this in the oven right now. And I am going to start turning this bread that I chopped up into breadcrumbs. See you in a few. While our breadcrumbs are cooking, I wanted to show you, I've got my turkey here. My turkey is roughly between 11 and 12 pounds. But right now, I am going to put a lot of people will use butter. I'm going to use coconut oil. I will pull up the skin and I will rub some underneath. I think it helps with the juiciness. And then I will rub the outside and put my spices on it. And I'll have the turkey prepped and ready to be stuffed when we're ready for that part. But yep, just keep working. You just keep working under the skin, separating the meat from it. I will take some of the coconut oil. I've got some on a spoon here, so that way I'm not sticking my dirty hands into the container. And then I just rub it all around. Both sides of it. And then the rest of this I just rub all over the outside of the turkey. We are going to get the juice all cooked up. I am melting half a cup or 1 stick of butter into my big frying pan. Now that our butter is all melted, we are going to add 2 cups of onions. I've got 2 cups of celery. My celery looks different because mine is canned. When I have extra celery, I can it. I'm going to add 1 cup of dried cranberries, 2 cups of cut up apples, and I'm going to just kind of start mixing that around a little bit. This is going to make so much yummy juice. I also want to add 1 tablespoon of sage and 1 tablespoon of thyme. And we will get this all mixed in, and we will get this all cooked up till the veggies are all nice and cooked, which will be about 10-15 minutes. Mine might be a little bit longer because of the size of my frying pan. But I'll bring you back once this is all cooked up. So I wanted to show you the breadcrumbs are done, but they're nice and brown and crumbly. And we are just going to add that. We are just going to add these to this bowl. Now in this bowl, I have 2 eggs, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of pepper, and a tablespoon of parsley. And I've just whipped it together, and I'm going to dump it in with the breadcrumbs and just mix it up real good. And now we can just stand here, mix this in. I'll be honest, this is the first time I've ever used a recipe for stuffing where I have used any eggs. I can see why you would, to help bind it all together. It'll be interesting. And now that this is all mixed up, I am going to go stir the onions and the apples and cranberries and the rest of that over there on the oven. Meanwhile, I also do have the oven preheating to 325 degrees for the turkey. Not much longer and that turkey's going in the oven. Now that our onions are all nice and cooked, we are going to add 3 cups of turkey stock. We are going to bring this up to a simmer and then let this cook for approximately 5 minutes. Now this has been simmering for 5 to 7 minutes. I am going to turn the heat off, and then I'm just going to, this is a big enough pot for me that I can mix the breadcrumbs right into it. And now we're just going to mix it all up so it soaks up that juice. Now, if you don't have turkey stock, then you can use chicken stock. I always have turkey stock that I can, because one thing I will do after I cut the meat off of this turkey is I will put the carcass into my crock pot for a couple days, and I will get some good broth, and then I can it. But now that we have this all mixed in, we are going to go over to the turkey, and we are going to get it stuffed and ready to go into the oven. Now, it's not real complicated to stuff your turkey. This has a plastic piece that your legs fit in. You just take your legs out and just take your stuffing, and you want to just stick it in the turkey. You don't want to overpack it. You want it to be a nice loose packing. So I am just going to stuff my bird. And there is obviously going to be extra stuffing left over, and I'll show you how we're going to address that. Our bird is now ready to go into the oven. For our weight, it's going to be 3.5 to 4 hours. I will set the timer for 3.5 hours and check it after that. The last few minutes, I will cook it without the aluminum foil, so that way the skin gets nice and brown. Now I have this 9x13 prepared baking dish. When I say prepared, I've already oiled the outside of it. I am just going to pour the stuffing on top of it. I'm going to take a couple tablespoons of butter, and I'm just going to put on top of it, cover with aluminum foil. So we're just going to put it in. All right, the time is up on our stuffing. It is time to uncover it. Look how delicious that already looks. Now we're going to stick it back in the oven for about another half hour. Did you guys hear that? That's the timer for the dressing. Not for the turkey, but the dressing. I'm going to get it out of the oven and we're going to show it to you. It smells amazing. Take a look. Look at this. It's Got a nice crispiness to it. And underneath. And underneath, it's nice and juicy. Not burnt. I'm going to try it. Ooh, hot. Mmm. Melts in your mouth. It is delicious. Look at that, guys. Our turkey is done. That is out. As you can see, when we look, the current temperature is 192. That's above 180. So this turkey is done. Now that our turkey is done, I have unhooked the legs. And we are just going to scoop the stuffing into our bowl. And I'm just going to continue to do this until we're done getting it all out of the turkey. Here we are, everybody. Our stuffing. This is the dressing. This was made outside of the turkey in the casserole dish. This is our stuffing, which was made inside of the turkey. Let's do a taste test. The dressing is really, really good. Got a nice little crunch to it. Delicious. Let's try. Now, as you can tell, there really is no crunch. It's all mushy. The stuffing. That is very delicious as well. Flavor-wise, I would have to say the stuffing has a little bit more flavor because of it cooking in the juices from the turkey. But they are both just heavenly. Just heavenly. All right. This is where I am going to end the video. And if I keep it up, I'm going to eat all of this stuffing. But I've got to get the turkey cut up and get this on a plate for dinner. So from my house to yours, I'd like to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving and thanks for watching. And we will see you on the next video. Toodles, everybody. Have a good one. And for any of you guys that are wondering, the turkey tastes great. The crock pot back here already has the bones in it. We will do a 2-day simmer to make more turkey broth for the rest of the year. It's really good.